Aaron, Paquette, welcome to Madashafran.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you.
It has been a long time. I think the last time you came to the Madashafran was 2015. Welcome back, I can say. Then you were running NDB, not City Council, I guess.
Oh yeah, that's a very long time ago.
Very long time ago. Now you have been 8 times City Councilor. To begin with, people who don't recognize Aaron Paquette right away, who is Aaron Paquette?
Aaron Paquette is a guy who grew up in Edmonton. I'm Indigenous, and I've been in the community all my life. And in 2017, I thought maybe I'll serve in a bigger way on council, and so I ran and was successful. And then I won re-election. Here I am for one more kick at the can because there's some good work to be done.
Great. We run one of your introduction, and it says here is a Dene word where you live, and you introduce yourself that you been in the city hall for 2 terms, and you learn something and you want to continue. So tell us, what have you learned or achieved during those 8 years?
Oh yeah. So one thing I'm proud of is the work we've done on anti-racism, but also the work that we've done on the budget. While I've been a city councillor, we've had the lowest average tax rate increases of all big cities in Canada, except for Ottawa, who beat us by a little bit, and that's the nation's capital. So there's a lot more work to do. I'm working on a larger budget plan that is very detailed. But on the anti-racism front, that's something that is really important, especially as we get more and more people coming to Edmonton. And you see that maybe other people don't understand. They see different cultures coming. They might feel threatened, things like that. And then you see in the news, maybe you get bad headlines, and it starts to define a whole cultural group. But the truth is, if you actually talk to the people who are here, like, for example, the Somali population, you find that there are people who are doing incredible things and making big differences. You're included in that, right? And so those are the stories we need to tell. That's what we have to bring out, is the successes of the community, and give the youth, something that's reflected back to them that makes them feel proud of who they are. Okay.
Anti-racism projects in city Edmonton is very visible, but we don't really, Madashafran, have statistics and facts, numbers to support how success it is. So what can you tell us?
Yeah, and that's a really good point. That's something that I push for. How do we measure how something is successful? If we don't have a way to measure it, we can't know. And so that's one of the things that I want to work on as this goes forward. I'm actually talking to the police chief about this, because they're obviously going to be very important partners in this work. And so we need to be able to talk to the community and get a baseline, and then we can go from there and say, okay, what are we doing that shows that this is a good investment, that it's returning value for the dollar, and that the community is better off because of it. And those are incredibly important things to get right.
When it comes to policing, and it's a big part of the project, anti-racism activities in the city, 2 things came back. One is ROS, or SOR, school, SRO, school resource officer.
Right.
And Cardin, and both that issues. I know it's not under your jurisdiction, but it can affect the people you want to represent. So
that's right.
What do you take for the school resource officer and the Cardin that is no more a cap, so police can stop anyone they want? That will affect new visible Canadians and Indigenous people. So what do you take?
Yeah, and that's a good question. And that's one of the reasons I'm talking to the police chief early. He just got the job last Friday. And so what I'm talking to him about is, if you're doing the school resource, and that's decided by Edmonton Public School Board, but still we should have an opinion on it. If they're doing that, one of the problems that we saw in the past is that some youth reported the fact that maybe they didn't think it was a fair process, and that in fact they were kind of being trapped. And we can't do that. It has to be something where it's partnership and where you build real relationships rather than, looking for problems. You try to look for solutions in a school, solutions in the individual child in front of you, rather than trying to look for something wrong with them. And that's a big, big issue. The other thing that you mentioned is carding. Well, as a young man, I was carded a lot. I would be stopped by police and told I fit a description, and I would get carded and I would have to wait and maybe sit in a police car while they ran all my details. And this happened over and over and over again. So I think that, some people in police think that carding is a good way to do community outreach. But the problem is when individuals feel that they're being targeted over and over again when they're innocent. And that is a real issue. In fact, that's why I think the province paused carding. And that's why we have to have this conversation, because it's coming back. And we have to determine, I obviously have my opinion. I don't think that it is a useful tool, but maybe other people will differ. Personally, I would like to see that moratorium on carding continue.
All right. What would you do since we know they are on, the carding is back, and the school resource officer is on?
Yeah.
What would you do to reverse?
Well, there's not much you can do it as a city councillor except for advocate. You can add your voice to the community, and that's how we got it done in the first place. So if we have to do that work all over again, we will. We will talk to the community. We will get supporters. We will come together as communities of communities to say, listen, our youth are being unfairly targeted, and if you treat people like criminals, don't be surprised if that's how they feel society views them. And that's not what we want for our youth. We want them to be empowered, and we want them to feel strong.